You can see it is kind of waning. At least northern Charleston County is now pushing offshore. We are still concerned with Walterboro. We're still concerned with parts of, say, the metro area, but in particular Folly Beach. And then back over here toward the western part of, say, Ravenel, Hollywood, Colleton County, back in toward Walterboro, Cottesville, Hendersonville. Still pretty dangerous out there with a lot of lightning. Let's go over to the first alert desk, and Lisa Weissman's got some traffic light problems. Lisa?
Yeah, that's right, Bill. Obviously, the severe weather and down power lines can knock out power, especially to lights at intersections. We have some tweets from the Mount Pleasant Police Department. They're telling us that IOP at 17, these are all intersections I'm about to rattle off. All the lights there at the intersections are off right now. IOP in 17, 17 at 41, 17 at Hamlin and Long Point roads. So be extra careful when you are in those areas. There are likely to be officers there at the scene directing traffic. That is a picture from Mount Pleasant Police right there. An intersection there. Can't make out the street signs, but that is in Mount Pleasant. Also, SCE&G, they are giving us the word that there are more than close to 15,000 people as it stands right now that are without power. You can see all those little traffic cones there on your screen, and when you see a red one or a yellow one, that's a doozy. That means that there are hundreds, if not more than 2,000 people without power. So you can see how they're kind of spread all throughout the area. In Charleston County, there are more than 10,000 people, whether it be homes or businesses, 10,000 addresses without power right now. Take it to Dorchester County, there are more than 3,500 addresses without power. And in Berkeley County, a little bit better there, close to 1,300 addresses without power. So that continues to go up. I check back in. I check back in every 10 minutes or so, and it seems like about 45 minutes ago there were only about 10,000 addresses without power. Now that number is up to 15,000. SCE&G also saying to please stay away from any downed power lines and to give them a call if you do see any. Of course, stay away from them as well, and they will try to get a crew out just as soon as they can. We're going to take it to Jordan Wilkerson now, live with us, more on traffic in this bad weather. Jordan.
Hey, Lisa, thanks. We're giving you a live lookout right now on I-26 westbound is where you're seeing all that traffic due to an accident right at the Cosgrove Avenue exit. Eastbound lanes are looking great, and you can see that here. Cars are moving along just fine, but we've got basically the worst mathematical equation: rush hour traffic and severe weather. And this is what it equals: very slow moving traffic. And of course, accidents. Let's take a look at the Ravenel Bridge, though I mentioned earlier that's actually moving very nicely. And you can, oh, did you see that lightning strike in real time in the way back? Wow. So, yeah, Bill mentioned that it is starting to push offshore. However, we're still seeing active weather, so be very, very careful. I know that traffic is moving nicely on the Ravenel, both directions, north and south on Highway 17, but the roads are still wet, the winds are still strong, and we're already seeing lightning there as well. Now, let me take it to the traffic flow chart because we do have just a couple accidents here to give you the first alert to. Let me zoom in. This is that Cosgrove Avenue one. So exit 216A and B on I-26 westbound. That's where you saw that backup in the first camera that I showed you. And it's backing things up quite a bit, slowing things down to even 12 miles per hour. Stop and go traffic preceding it and following it about 17 miles per hour. Parts of I-526 westbound looking about 4 miles per hour. Before the Don Holt Bridge. As you're approaching the Westmoreland bridges, we're looking at about 17 miles per hour. Now, let me move a little bit north and west of the metro here, and you can see we have an accident on I-26 eastbound. We gave you the first alert to this a while ago. It hasn't not been cleared yet. Exit 194 for Jedburgh Road. Also an accident on 17A Live Oak Drive at Gilliard Road, and an accident on Cane Hoy Road between Quinby Avenue and Longwood Lane. So that's Berkeley County. Be very careful if you're heading in those directions. Now, a quick look at the drive times, and we've got 27 minutes West Asher to Mount Pleasant. That's eastbound I-526, but westbound, it's always this slow at rush hour, but now we're bringing you accidents as well as wet roads out there. So 72 minutes it will take you to get from Mount Pleasant to West Ashley. A quick look at I-26 drive times: 21 minutes Somerville to downtown, 52 minutes downtown to Somerville. Again, it could be a lot worse. However, this is not ideal. So if you can stay put for just a little while longer, that's probably best. 14 minutes West Ashley to Mount Pleasant on Highway 17 in that northbound direction, and southbound about 41 minutes. Of course, we'll continue to update you with any alerts we get here at Live 5 News. Now we're going to check in with Debbie.
Jordan, we are now going to go west of the Ashley to Ann McGill. Ann was at the St. Andrews Library this afternoon for the book drive for the Cynthia Hurd Foundation, collecting children's books. But she is now keeping an eye on the weather as we're shifting gears, watching this severe storm as it's sweeping through the low country. In fact, Ann, you also told us earlier today about the possible tornado in Williamsburg County. So what are you seeing there west of the Ashley in St. Andrews?
Well, Debbie, right now our rain is starting to slow down, but just about an hour ago it was coming down in buckets. I'm going to step out of the way, let you see what the conditions are right now. But we are still hearing thunder overhead, so we are certainly not out of the danger here. But as you can see, the rain has slowed down considerably here. West Ashley, again, this is by the Cynthia Graham Hurd St. Andrews Library. Flooding not too bad in this area, just a little bit of the water puddling on the road. Just talked to some folks who came from downtown Charleston. They did not see any lights out, no power outages in that immediate area. They said that the rain was not too bad on the roadways. But yeah, when I was getting ready to walk out the door this afternoon to come this way, right about 3:30, 3:15, Fire Chief for Williamsburg County, Chief Swinton, called me and he said, Ann, want to let you know, we believe we have a tornado in this area. We need your station to announce that we have some roads that are blocked because there are trees on cars, there are trees on homes. Then shortly after he called again, he said, we just spotted a second funnel cloud. It's headed for Clarendon County. We're closing down another road. Trees are absolutely everywhere. Please help us to get the word out that it's very dangerous in this area. So we're definitely keeping an eye on the situations up around my hometown way of King Street, Williamsburg County area. But here west of the Ashley, again, still hearing thunder overhead, but the rain is definitely slowing down for us here. Debbie?
All right, Ann, and I also want to tell folks who are listening right now to be sure to send us pictures. If you see and can safely take a picture, send photos of the weather damage in your area. We also have a Live 5 News crew on the way to Williamsburg County. Now we'll check back in with Bill.
All right, Debbie, yeah, we were just getting some updates on the warnings. A lot of these warnings now have been discontinued. Now, notice these storms are really starting to collapse here. We're starting to see some weakening. We're losing the heating of the day, but so we still have quite a bit of rain out there. So as we zoom on in, the metro now, we're seeing that stuff push offshore, maybe a few lighter showers. All the heavy stuff is gone there. As we kind of come back over here toward, say, Cottageville, down south on over toward, say, Hendersonville along I-95, Walterboro, that now has pushed to the south and east. Still quite a bit of lightning in there, and that continues to push to the south. So we are looking at quite a bit of lightning for you folks still in Colleton County. And as we kind of zoom on out, watch how these just kind of blasted on through the metro. Now they are pretty much pushing east and falling apart. So we're losing some of the energy there, but we still have areas that we're concerned with. And of course, upper parts of Berkeley County, St. Stephen, all the way back down toward, say, upper Dorchester County, St. George, and back over to Ridgeville, and all the way down towards Somerville, and all the way over to Harleyville. We're still looking at clearing weather. So that's good news. So all up in this area has pretty much diminished. We still have that hail. Some of the hail reports over the last few hours still shows there's quite a bit of hail that was up in Berkeley County, but this kind of shows you the tracks of where that hail was. Now, these are the very latest warnings that continue. You notice Somerville's out of the warning. We have Moncks Corner out of the warning. Looks like downtown is kind of on the edge of the warning. So as we kind of take a look at these warnings, we'll tell you that these will continue to be discontinued as the energy or the threat lessens and gets pushed to the south and east. This one still for parts of Charleston, Colleton, and Dorchester County till 5:30 in the next 20 minutes or so, but not the whole county, just this part of Dorchester, this part of Charleston, this part of Colleton County. Again, that goes until 5:30, as well as this one here till 5:15. That's Beaufort, Colleton, and Hampton counties. So we continue to kind of watch those as we watch the warnings actually expire, or they'll get canceled. canceled. And these are the damage reports. A lot of history of tree damages with these as we take a look at the tree damage reports. We're looking at trees down, multiple trees down. These up here toward Kingstree are the ones we're sending crews up for. This was the emergency managers reporting lots of widespread tree and power line damage along 261 and 521 from Greeleyville to Andrews. That could have been the possible track of that tornado. We gave you the first alert to that tornado warning a little bit after. It was right around, I'd say, 3:20, 3:25. We started to track that rotating storm and jumped on the air as soon as that warning hit. And you can see that that was the track there that we're probably going to have a weather service will probably come up there and give an assessment there because the winds were 50, 60 mile an hour. In fact, this is a wind report, a local wind report out of this one was out of the airport up in Manning, and this right here, this wind report shows gusts to 51 knots. That's 55, 56 miles an hour with that one cell that moved through there. So that certainly was something that we tracked. Also, a lot of tree damage down here. This was a tree damage report. We had one report there, and we had this tree report damage as well. That was one report of trees that were damaged, as well as hail. We have had quite a bit of hail reports as well. So we'll continue to watch that. This was some tree damage, trees down along 311 near the intersection of Old Community and Mudville Road. And let me see if I can't get down here. This was just to the south of Walterboro. We're looking at some one report out of there of some tree damage. So again, a lot of damage in the area. The good news is notice how these storms have pretty much collapsed. Well, they're at least diminishing. 40,000 foot line right here, 30,000. But as we spin this aside a little bit, this is now the trailing edge of that stuff that's pushing toward the coast. So we are seeing some of this stuff weaken. Certainly that is good news. Live picture now shows improving weather across the metro area. A lot of improving weather, like I said, back to our west. Now, what about the traffic tracker? Let's check that out. Jordan Wilkerson standing by with the traffic update. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Bill. Take a look at this now. I-526 eastbound and westbound, actually, near exit 23 is very, very slow. An accident has not been issued. However, at the very top of the hill there, you can see blue lights. So officials are at the top of that hill. Again, I-526, it would be the westbound side. The westbound is where you're seeing the people braking, and the eastbound is where you're seeing the people drive towards us. So I-526 westbound is definitely slower, and once we find out exactly what's going on near exit 23, we will alert you. Now, this is I-26 eastbound and westbound. Eastbound is where it is looking clear, but westbound is near that Cosgrove Avenue exit because we still have that accident that has not been cleared. So it's still very, very slow if you're about to get on the roadways. We're seeing a lot of very slow moving traffic. Now, not a lot of accidents on the main metro, but because of the weather, of course, and with rush hour, it's slowing things down quite a bit. So here's that accident on I-26 westbound at exit 216A and B for that Cosgrove Avenue. And let me see how slow. It looks like things are getting a little bit better preceding it. So about 26 miles per hour leading up to that accident, and then following it 12 miles per hour. So people slowly starting to pick up the pace. I-526 westbound down to 3 miles per hour stop and go. Very, very, very slow. If you can hold out and just hang out at work or hang out at home, wherever you may be watching us, probably be the better idea, at least for the next 30 minutes or so. Here's a couple more accidents, a few more accidents. We did give you the first alert, but if you're just joining us, this is I-26 eastbound before exit 194 Jedburgh Road, an accident on 17A at Live Oak Drive at Gilliard Road, and on Cainhoy Road between Quinby, Barony Avenue and Longwood Lane. And you can see the one on the left and the one in the middle are slowing things down, but thankfully the one in Cainhoy is not on a main metro road. So a quick look at the drive times, 87 minutes, very, very slow, 90 minutes now on I-526 westbound. A quick look at I-26, 48 minutes, looks to be the slowest. That's westbound as well, downtown to Somerville. Here's a quick look at Highway 17. And of course, keep it here on Live 5 News. We will be right back.
I-26 still slow moving at this time. Might have an idea as to the reason why. North Charleston police, they say that there was an 18-wheeler that crashed. This happened at Virginia Avenue and 526 westbound, blocking 2 lanes. Now that happened about an hour ago, so that very well could be the reason why it is still backed up right now at about 5:20 in the afternoon. They say that there are no injuries, but of course expect delays there. So that is an 18-wheeler crash. No word. We don't yet know if that was related to all the storm, though. Want to also give you an update on power outages here in the area. The number of power outages here in Charleston County has actually doubled within the past 10 minutes or so to 20,000 addresses. More than 20,000 homes or businesses are currently without power in Charleston County. As for Dorchester County, that number has gone down a little bit to about 2,200, and in Berkeley County about 1,300. We don't know if more people are actually losing their power or if maybe people are just now reporting those outages, and you can do so. You can report an outage to SCE&G. I'm going to give you the phone number to do it. It is 888-333-4465 if you would like to report an outage. In SCE&G, they also passed along some good advice from Columbia Fire. They retweeted one of their tweets saying that citizens need to treat downed power lines as if they are alive, even if you don't know or if you think that it is not alive. They say keep 10 feet away and don't touch anything around those downed lines, those downed power lines. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on the storm here at the First Alert Desk, as well as our outage map. And I think that we are going to have an update on the storm. We are going to have the latest with Debbie Char. Debbie?
All right, Lisa, thank you so much. We've been following this severe weather since 4 o'clock this afternoon. We have been with you continuously, either live here if you have power or live on Facebook, so continue to follow us. We have had a lot of hail and lightning, severe winds, torrential rains, and out covering that is our Alexis Simmons. So we're going to check in with her. It looks like you're in the car, Alexis. What are you seeing? I know you're heading toward Northwoods Mall.
Debbie, well, we actually just got off Rivers Avenue here. When we first hit the road, very strong winds, very heavy rain, but right now in North Charleston, we are in the Northwoods Mall parking lot right now. As of right now, it's no rain or winds. I'm going to give you a look at what things are looking like over here. The skies are pretty dark. When we approached, you could see kind of towards one side it was clear, towards the other side not so much. I'm going to roll the window down here to give you a better look, but there's a lot of cloud cover above Northwoods Mall. We were actually getting reports earlier that people had to bunker down inside and they were told to take safety. I'm going to be going into the mall now to talk with people to see if things were just moments ago. I don't know what we're expected to see out here exactly, but I will be going into the mall right now talking with people about what has happened over the last 30 minutes or so inside the mall. But for right now, I'm live in North Charleston. Alexis Simmons, Live 5 News.
Oh, I think we lost her. There are lots of reports of street lights, the traffic lights being out. So if you are heading out the door, be extremely careful. A lot of reports on Twitter that the Mount Pleasant lights were virtually out. So we're following information on that, and we'll keep you posted on the drive times and also the hazards when you're heading out the door. We're going to go to Bill.
All right, Debbie, indeed, you're right about those power lines, you know, and certainly if you ever see a power line down or a traffic light down, be very careful around the particular power lines. You don't know if they're alive. Always treat them as if they are alive. And again, with all those power outages, we'll continue to track. The good news at this hour, we've been tracking these since about 3 o'clock this afternoon. These things are weakening, but let me show you this very cool shot. Lauren Van Loo, our producer, pulled up for us. Look at this. This is a time-lapse video from our Holiday in Riverview camera. camera. A very, very amazing picture. This is time lapse over the last 3 hours or so as these storms just quickly moved in, brought torrential rain, heavy wind, and certainly the lightning, which we gave you the first alert to this afternoon. Also, with that watch showing just how these storms can very quickly move and cause a lot of damage over a very quick amount of time. And we are still tracking that possible tornado that might have touched down up in Williamsburg County. But watch this. This is amazing. Look how fast these conditions deteriorate. This, again, is live. Actually, this is the time lapse to live from this one cell that moved through downtown. And that visibility drops like a rock. So if you're out in a car, you're out in a boat, and you see these storms coming, stay in place, seek shelter, wait until they go through, because they do blast through pretty quickly. This one moved through at about 40, 45 miles an hour. It was a whopper with a lot of heavy rainfall.